coincidentally stumbled on a legendary. Wait until they see us now, waiting for the opportune time to show 'em this new power of mine. When words is where we landed, we're 2 rows and next to be commended. We're taking down all of those who oppose. Greasy Grove will soon be upon us. Katie Hike, we're sitting on the battle bus. We're closing in and we'll soon claim victory. When words is where we landed, we're 2 rows and next to be commended. We're taking down all of those who oppose. Greasy Grove will soon be upon us. Katie Hike, we're sitting on the battle bus. We're closing in and we'll soon claim victory. Our aim never disappoint, so we have coincidentally stumbled on a legendary. Wait until they see us now, waiting for the opportune time to show 'em this new power of mine. When words is where we landed, we're 2 rows and next to be commended. We're taking down all of those who oppose. Greasy Grove will soon be upon us. Katie Hike, we're sitting on the battle bus. We're closing in and we'll soon claim victory. When words is where we landed, we're 2 rows and next to be commended. We're taking down all of those who oppose. Greasy Grove will soon be upon us. Katie Hike, we're sitting on the battle bus. We're closing in and we'll soon claim victory. Our aim never disappoint, so we have coincidentally stumbled on a legendary. Wait until they see us now, waiting for the opportune time to show 'em this new power of mine. When words is where we landed, we're 2 rows and next to be commended. We're taking down all of those who oppose. Greasy Grove will soon be upon us. Katie Hike, we're sitting on the battle bus. We're closing in and we'll soon claim victory. When words is where we landed, we're 2 rows and next to be commended. We're taking down all of those who oppose. Greasy Grove will soon be upon us. Katie Hike, we're sitting on the battle bus. We're closing in and we'll soon claim victory. Our aim never disappoint, so we have coincidentally stumbled on a legendary. Wait until they see us now, waiting for the opportune time to show 'em this new power of mine. When words is where we landed, we're 2 rows and next to be commended. We're taking down all of those who oppose. Greasy Grove will soon be upon us. Katie Hike, we're sitting on the battle bus. We're closing in and we'll soon claim victory. When words is where we landed, we're 2 rows and next to be commended. We're taking down all of those who oppose. Greasy Grove will soon be upon us. Katie Hike, we're sitting on the battle bus. We're closing in and we'll soon claim victory. Our aim never disappoint, so we have coincidentally stumbled on a legendary. Wait until they see us now, waiting for the opportune time to show 'em this new power of mine. When words is where we landed, we're 2 rows and next to be commended. We're taking down all of those who oppose. Greasy Grove will soon be upon us. Katie Hike, we're sitting on the battle bus. We're closing in and we'll soon claim victory. When words is where we landed, we're 2 rows and next to be commended. We're taking down all of those who oppose. Greasy Grove will soon be upon us. Katie Hike, we're sitting on the battle bus. We're closing in and we'll soon claim victory. Our aim disappoint. So we have coincidentally stumbled on a legendary. Wait until they see us now, waiting for the opportune time to show 'em this new power of mine. When words is where we landed, we're 2 rows, the next to be commended. We're taking down all of those who oppose. Greasy Grove will soon be upon us. Katie Hike, we're sitting on the battle bus. We're closing in and we'll soon claim victory. When words is where we landed, we're 2 rows, the next to be commended. We're taking down all of those who oppose. Greasy Grove will soon be upon us. Katie Hike, we're sitting on the battle bus. We're closing in and we'll soon claim victory. Our aim never disappoint. So we have coincidentally stumbled on a legendary. Wait until they see us now, waiting for the opportune time to show 'em this new power of mine. When words is where we landed, we're 2 rows, the next to be commended. We're taking down all of those who oppose. Greasy Grove will soon be upon us. Katie Hike, we're sitting on the battle bus. We're closing in and we'll soon claim victory. When words is where we landed, we're 2 rows, the next to be commended. We're taking down all of those who oppose. Greasy Grove will soon be upon us. Katie Hike, we're sitting on the battle bus. We're closing in and we'll soon claim victory. Our aim never disappoint. So we have coincidentally stumbled on a legendary. Wait until they see us now, waiting for the opportune time to show 'em this new power of mine. When words is where we landed, we're 2 rows, the next to be commended. We're taking down all of those who oppose. Greasy Grove will soon be upon us. Katie Hike, we're sitting on the battle bus. We're closing in and we'll soon claim victory. When words is where we landed, we're 2 rows, the next to be commended. We're taking down all of those who oppose. Greasy Grove will soon be upon us. Katie Hike, we're sitting on the battle bus. We're closing in and we'll soon claim victory. Our aim never disappoint. So we have coincidentally stumbled on a legendary. Wait until they see us now, waiting for the opportune time to show 'em this new power of mine. When words is where we landed, we're 2 rows, the next to be commended. We're taking down all of those who oppose. Greasy Grove will soon be upon us. Katie Hike, we're sitting on the battle bus. We're closing in and we'll soon claim victory. When words is where we landed, we're 2 rows, the next to be commended. We're taking down all of those who oppose. Greasy Grove will soon be upon us. Katie Hike, we're sitting on the battle bus. We're closing in and we'll soon claim victory. Our aim never disappoint. So we have coincidentally stumbled on a legendary. Wait until they see us now, waiting for the opportune time to show 'em this new power of mine. When words is where we landed, we're 2 rows, the next to be commended. We're taking down all of those who oppose. Greasy Grove will soon be upon us. Katie Hike, we're sitting on the battle bus. We're closing in and we'll soon claim victory. When words is where we landed, we're 2 rows, the next to be commended. We're taking down all of those who oppose. Greasy Grove will soon be upon us. Katie Hike, we're sitting on the battle bus. We're closing in and we'll soon claim mentally stumbled on a legendary. Wait until they see us now. Waiting for the opportune time to show 'em this new power of mine. When words is where we landed, we're 2 rows and next to be commended. We're taking down all of those who oppose. Greasy Grove will soon be upon us. Katie Hike, we're sitting on the battle bus. We're closing in and we'll soon claim victory. When words is where we landed, we're 2 rows and next to be commended. We're taking down all of those who oppose. Greasy Grove will soon be upon us. Katie Hike, we're sitting on the battle bus. We're closing in and we'll soon claim victory.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Unplugged Unfiltered. I am Brian Clements, again alongside Bob Clements, and I'm going to have to move a ring light here real quick because we have a really bad glare.
Do we?
Yes.
Is that coming off my head?
Yeah. That's why I'm wearing a hat, because mine's starting to glare really
my
bad.
forehead. So everybody just apologize, but there's this massive. It's actually moonlight kind of coming in there. So that's looking better.
Hey, see if we can find it.
Where's our stage crew at?
I know.
That would be you. That looks good. It is unplugged and unfiltered.
It is.
Never forget that.
And we were trying to make something work.
It didn't.
That didn't work, but
it'd been cool if it had have worked, but it will work by the next week.
yes.
Not next Wednesday.
Yes, it will 100% work. We've been trying to make it work for like 3 months now.
Yeah.
we still run into issues, but that's okay. We'll get it figured out one of these days. But yeah, welcome. And we're excited to have a conversation about building a brand that feels like you, because when it comes down to it, authenticity, being authentic with yourself, with your brand, with your company, a lot of times is better than just the aesthetics of what you're building. And I think that there's a lot of good looking businesses that they spend a lot of money to make it look really fancy and polished and shiny, and they still fail because, well, they're not authentic to what they're doing. And the founders, I mean, a lot of times, especially as an entrepreneur or as a founder, if you're building something that doesn't feel authentic to you,
right,
you can get burnt out, I think, pretty quick. So I think it's going to be a fun topic. Last week, and it really kind of plays in from last week, talking about the marketing, the guerrilla tactics of marketing, but a lot of times when you're building a brand, you're building it around yourself.
Right.
And so I think it's gonna be a fun topic. So,
well, I think it is too. I think about brands that started out. The one I used to do buy clothes from Men's Warehouse.
Yeah.
So, suits and stuff like this. It was great. And the owner did all of his own ads.
Yeah.
And he'd talk about it, and you see him, and he's, into stuff like this. And his always quote was at the very end, and I guarantee it. You'll look good in our clothes, and I guarantee it.
Yeah.
And ultimately it got bought by another company. So he sold it, and they had him stop doing it because they didn't want him to do it anymore. And their brand just went down. Down
absolutely.
He was the brand.
Yeah.
And so once you took that away, now I'm not saying that Men's Warehouse isn't still going, but it's nothing like it used to be.
Absolutely.
And again, and I haven't gone there for, I don't know, probably 10 years.
Yeah.
Not for any reason other than I don't know. He was just the guy. He talked like the guy. He was. And his last quote was, "And I guarantee it.
Yeah.
You're going to look good in our clothes, and I'll guarantee it.
Yeah.
And your clothes are going to fit great, and I guarantee it." I mean, that was his last thing always, and I guarantee it. And he did all of his own ads. And again, I'm sure that whoever the venture capital company was that bought him, going, okay, well, it's time for us to get a new image or whatever like this. And in doing so, it took away from why people were buying it.
Oh yeah.
I hate to bring up, and this is a painful thing, but Cracker Barrel.
I was just getting ready to say, how did that change?
Well, it wasn't as good. And, and I've read the article on the lady who did it, and she didn't have any disrespect at all for the brand or whatever. They were getting feedback from diners there that, gosh, it's kind of dark in here. It's kind of this or kind of this. And so what her goal is not to get rid of Uncle Hershey, who was hanging out by the barrel, okay, but was to lighten it up or brighten it up and stuff like this. And And the challenge is that, you know, she went a little too far with it.
Yes.
You know, she did it that way. And again, and you know, and it was only like $150 million.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
it wasn't that big of a spend. But again, it's kind of the same thing. You know, you go to Cracker Barrel. I mean, we've gone to Cracker Barrel a lot. It's a great place. When your kids were young, we'd go to Cracker Barrel. Number one, food was decent food, so comfort food. And number two, they had this place where they had all these crazy ass toys that I would take your kids back and say, okay, let these people kept eating. I'll take the ticket. Let's go back and shop for toys.
Yeah.
You know,
absolutely.
they had the parakeet that would talk back to you, you know, the stuff like this. But it was fun to do. Grandkids loved it. I ended up spending, you know, twice as much on stupid toys as I did the meal for all of us. But it was just a fun experience, you know, and it was just kind of laid back. And again, it was kind of the brand.
Yeah.
It wasn't fancy. It wasn't anything, but it was just who they were.
Yeah.
You know, and then they got away from that.
Yeah.
And again, you know, Cracker Barrel's, I think, got it turned around. I mean, I would have gone in there even the way it was. I think their food it's comfort.
Yeah.
You know, it's not if you're looking for a really high level breakfast in the morning.
Yeah.
Cracker Barrel probably wouldn't be where you go, but if you just want to have some fun with the grandkids and the kids and have a decent place, then you know it's what Cracker Barrel was all about.
Absolutely.
You know, so I think that's the big piece again is like you say, it's about the authenticity of it, and the founder is normally the one that's the most authentic because it's their heart and soul and blood in it.
Yeah.
And I think again, when you get marketing people who don't really know who you are, don't know your culture and stuff, and trying to help you build the brand, I think that's sometimes where people go wrong.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and it's again, you have to look at, you know, first off, the people that you are marketing to, right? Cracker Barrel is not marketed to
Gen X or
Gen Alphas, Gen Zs, any of the gens, right? You know, it's marketed to, you know, people, you know, grandparents and their grandkids. It's marketed to just, I'll be honest, like whenever I'm out on the road, if there's a Cracker Barrel nearby, at least I know that for breakfast, I'm not getting food poisoning.
Exactly. Yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be good food, decent price, you know.
But that's their market, right? And they have to stay true to that. And I think when you start switching away from that, you know, it doesn't have to look all fancy. It doesn't have to, you know, be served on silver plates.
People are not looking for shiny, slick. I mean, it's like, I don't know, several weeks ago, we were talking about, you know, doing videos and YouTubes and stuff like this.
Yeah.
And you know, one of the biggest things that I see, and we have a marketing group as a part of my company, and that they see is a lot of the dealers we work with, they work with marketing companies that are all about the slick and this and this. You know, our dealers are salt of the earth kind of people, and their customers are salt of the earth kind of people. And they're not interested in slick and fancy. Yeah. And they just scroll past it or they just flip past it. And I think, you know, it's not about, doesn't have to be polished. I think today things that are a little rougher, a little not quite as finished. I think that's really what attracts people to them today. It's that kind of, I don't know, it's just not that polished, glitzy kind of look. No.
Well, and I think with as AI continues to become more and more prevalent, specifically in the marketing aspect and video creations, because the video creations of marketing, I will say when I see a video that's too polished, I go, okay, this is an AI created video. Right. But then I find the one where you're like, okay, the camera's like all wonky.
Kind of like ours. You know, the lighting wasn't fine. You know, ours is not AI generated just by listening to us. Right? And there's no AI, no AI that would put this kind of crap on.
Exactly.
It's like, you know what? This is so no, I'm just not
exactly. But I look at that and say, you know, okay, this is either too polished. There's certain things that I look at on LinkedIn. I you know, I'm connected with some people from Ferrari, right? Their stuff is always very polished, but it has to be because that's what their brand is built around.
I don't want to see a Ferrari with dents in it, right? Or a crappy video of a Ferrari, you know. I mean, so I mean, you know, it's kind of like,
but that's their brand, right?
It is, but
high-end luxury, fast, sleek.
Exactly.
That
it's
is
like a Rolex watch. You don't want to see one with a cracked lens on it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you know, you're paying, you know, thousands of dollars for something. So people that are buying that are expecting that, that look.
Yeah.
You know, me, as I do Timexes,
I'm
okay. You know, okay. And it continues, and it's still
It's amazing that the time is the same on both.
Exactly.
So,
I do not have currently. I've got a fancier watch.
A smartwatch. But I mean, but I think what you have to do as an entrepreneur is when you're trying to build your brand, right, is you want to understand what do you want people to feel when they see your brand, right? And we've talked about this in the past with BCI, right? Is when people look at that, you want them to have certain reactions and say, okay, if I do business with them, I know that they're always going to treat me right. They're going to do what they say, right? And they're going to give me great quality advice. There's other things. It's been a while since I've been on a Monday morning meeting to go over.
But you got a few.
But that's what you want people to, when people see that name or when they think of, I need a consultant in this industry, this is the reaction that they have, or this is what they think. So kind of go through how you created that mentality of what you wanted all of your employees to base it off of, because when it comes down to it, right, BCI is your brand. When people think of Bob Clements International, they think of Bob Clements. They didn't think of Brian Clements. They go, well, Brian's just his son, but it's still Bob.
He probably
Clements.
knows more than Bob anymore.
But
we're not going to tell people that.
They would still rather
edit that out.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, well, and again, I think so. What is the brand? I mean, we've been doing this 40 years, and I have screwed up a lot.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't start out as Bob Clements International. I think I talked about this in one of our podcasts in the back. We started out as a company called Professional Sales Trainers. Yeah, because that's what we did. And this was back, 40 years ago. And we didn't have social media. We didn't have the internet. Al Gore had not blessed us with the internet yet. Mm-hmm. We were still using phone books and things like that. So I called my company Professional Sales Trainers because that's what we did. Yeah. And I thought, okay, well, just call your company what you do, and that's what you should do. Mm-hmm. A bad idea. Yeah. Well, I did sales training, but when I was done with training, like at meetings and things like this, people remembered my name. Oh, that was Bob Clements. But then when they go to try to find me in the yellow pages, right? Yeah. I'm dating myself a little bit. They couldn't find me because my name, Bob Clements, was not in the yellow page listing. It was Professional Sales Trainers. And so we had people that would come. It's like, oh, I can't find your company. I looked for Bob Clements and go, well, it's actually Professional Sales Trainers. Yeah. So, so as we got feedback, I finally told your mom, my wife, Sandy, I said, okay, this is going to sound a little arrogant. Yeah. Far be it from me to be arrogant. But I said, I think we have to rename this company Bob Clements. Yeah. International. Mm-hmm. Because I was doing work in Canada, and the United States, and Iowa. Yeah. and now in Louisiana. So I could use the international thing. And again, obviously I did the international because, Canada is international from the United States. Yeah. Back then it was made the brand sound a little bit bigger. Absolutely. And I was doing work in Canada at that time. But we made that change from that standpoint. And through that process, then really the brand started to develop because my attitude, and it still is today, and this is what I preach to my people all the time, do whatever it takes to make a customer happy. Yeah. I don't care what it is, as long as it's not illegal, immoral, unethical, or life-threatening. Yeah. If a customer says, I'm not happy, then you say, well, what would make you happy? Yeah. If you gave me my money back, I'd be happy. That's great. We will have a check out in the mail tomorrow. Yeah. I've never had that happen. Yeah. But I tell my people, if you just paid me $15,000 to go do something for you and you weren't happy. Yeah. And you said, guys, that really wasn't what I expected. I would say that I'm going to give you all your money back. Yeah. And they go, oh, you don't have to do that. Says, no, I do have to do that. Yeah. Because you may never hire me again, but at least if somebody talks to you about me, you go, he sucked as a speaker, right? I paid way too much for him, but he's a really nice guy. And he did give me all my money back. I said, that's what I want. Even if a person chooses not to do business with me again, and then they would be dead to me. Mm-hmm. And I would never talk to them.
Absolutely. Goes back to firing those customers,
exactly,
right?
Exactly. But again, what I want him to do is to go back and say, well, but he's fair, or he did this, or he took care of this. And that's why I tell my people, that's my brand. My brand is, you can trust Bob. Yeah. Right. Bob's going to do what Bob says he's going to do. And if something's wrong, he will do whatever it takes, come hell or high water, life or death, to make it right with you. And that's what I teach my people to do. And so that's really how the Bob Clements brand is. And that's kind of, we've talked about this again. We've done a lot of podcasts now, but one of the things that has made us, I believe, successful is manufacturers, distributors that we work with. They see us as safe. Yeah. if you hire Bob and Bob's team, you're not going to go wrong. Nobody's going to complain because they're safe. There really is no risk.
Yeah.
Number one, because we've got the reputation out there. But number two, they'll just do whatever it takes to make it right.
Yeah.
And I think that's the big piece. It's, we're kind of risk free. So that's really what the brand is. And this, it's a little bit off topic, but not too far off topic.
Yeah.
We redid our whole website here about, I don't know, maybe 9 months ago.
Uh-huh.
And we wanted to make it, I don't know, more fun. Not that I'm not fun, but we wanted to make it more fun.
Yeah.
We wanted to kind of do some different stuff with it. And so my daughter, Sarah, your sister, she took it on, and we had this great lady, and they really redesigned our whole website. And my goal was to kind of start continuing to take me out of it. So it's Bob Clements International, but I really, over the last several years, really kind of removed my face from things, because I'm, I at some point I'm going to die, and this company, I still want this company to go on. Well, the interesting thing was, Brian, is we've been watching all of our interactions and all of our click-throughs and all the other stuff like this. They were going down.
Mm-hmm.
And so as Sarah was talking to me about it, she says, I talked to the marketing person about it. She goes, well, I think the problem is you've taken Bob off of your website.
Yeah.
And people like Bob.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
When they go to Bob's website, they want to see a picture of Bob. They want to see a video of Bob training people or whatever like this. I think we need to go back. So we actually did something that was stupid. At the time, we thought it made a lot of sense to take Bob out and do that. But the reality of it was, and we've redone our whole website again, and nothing like doing a website rebuild every 9 months. That's a fun thing to do. But again, to do it, because we get a lot of leads and stuff, we were getting a lot of leads off of it, and they were really dropping off. And now they're all picking back up again, because when people go to the website, the first thing they see is me.
Yeah.
And I think, and I'm the guy at Men's Warehouse, I'm the guy,
Well,
I guarantee it. And so, I think those are things there. I wish I could say that we did everything perfect all the time, because we don't, but I would say also, one of the things that we do is we watch numbers all the time. I mean, we measure everything, watch everything. And the moment we see something kind of going south on us, we go back, okay, I don't know what we just did, but it's something.
It didn't work.
And let's go backwards. And as I tell all the dealers, if what you did worked and what you're now doing doesn't work, then just go backwards, right? Yeah. Because we know that worked. And then from there, doesn't mean we have to stay there, but from there we'll figure it out. So I think that's a part of it. And again, I've tried to build my brand on, hey, you can trust Bob, Bob will just take care of you. Bob will do what you need done. And I've really never had to give anybody any money back.
Yeah.
I've offered it, and they go, no. I mean, this, and this, and this. And I say, well, I'm going to do this the next time we're together, or next time we do that. I'm still going to find a way to take care of them.
Yeah.
Right. Because I don't want anybody to have a bad experience with the product.
Yeah.
Me or any of our team, because I want, it's all, in the world I play in, it's 90% word of mouth.
Yeah.
So anyway, so that's what I've done with my brand, and my brand, our brand is me.
Yeah.
It's fun, humorous, a little bit sarcastic. And I tell people, again, that's what I want it to come through. I want that to come through on our website. I want it to be fun, because that's just who I am.
Yeah.
So, so I am the brand, and we tried to take me out of the brand, and it was a bad idea. And so we put me back in the brand.
Absolutely.
But my hair is darker. I weigh 40 pounds less. So we did.
You put it into AI.
Yeah.
AI doing all.
We did have AI improve the product. At least a picture of it.
Yeah. So. Well, I'm thinking, so when you redo your website in 9 months, let me know, and I'll get you connected with Mike and the Liquid Death team. And
oh my God, have you tried their new one?
I haven't yet. No, I've got to try it. And the other crazy thing is they just came out with a very healthy version of an energy drink, which I'm intrigued to try. So I haven't been able to get my hands on it yet.
We call that coffee.
Yeah. It's packed full of vitamins. It's supposed to be a healthier version of an energy drink. So
that's cool.
Definitely excited to try that. And I wish I have the other flavor.
Their new cider.
Yeah, the cider flavored. I forget what it's even called.
Psycho cider.
Psycho cider.
Psycho cider. So
I'm looking.
I love their brand.
Yeah, but I'm looking forward to trying that.
Who wouldn't want to have Psycho cider?
Yeah.
Over the holiday.
Well, and exactly. Yeah, and I could think of maybe a couple things I could add to that Psycho cider that would make it a little bit more pungent.
You do the cider with a gummy.
With the gummy, exactly. Or a little bit of bourbon.
There you go.
In there.
There you go. Yeah, that would make it interesting.
So anyways, well, let's talk about, the Liquid Death. I mean, if you look at what Mike has built into Liquid Death, I mean, I would say Mike is not the person who Liquid Death is, but he has built the brand around, this energy, right?
Right.
And he has that energy. And I think that what a lot of people have to understand, whether you're in real estate, whether you're a travel agent, whether you're selling honey, right, is the founder's energy becomes the brand's energy.
Right.
And if you want to keep that energy up, if you want to keep that excitement, if you want to be that Liquid Death, or you want to be Nike, perfect example, right? How does Nike
What do they make?
Shirts, I believe. I don't know.
Well, at least Tiger Woods wears them.
Yeah, exactly. I think they tried golf clubs
Yeah,
for a
they
while.
tried golf.
They've tried a lot of different things. But the thing with that, right, is how they started off with the energy of, we want high action sports, top of the, top best of the best. And Nike has continued that by endorsing the best of the best.
Yeah.
I mean, Michael Jordan, decent basketball player, great baseball player, but
Michael can do whatever Michael wants.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But from that aspect, right, is they go, okay, here's what the brand is. And the energy that has come from the leadership team of Nike. I don't know if you've seen Nike's facilities, but it is incredible. I mean, they have massive workout facilities. Yeah. They have all of these.
That's why I've never gone there.
Exactly. But
crap, this looks like work.
But they go, hey, here is this energy we want, right?
Yeah.
It's yes, you're at your office, but we have 12 full-size basketball courts. Go play basketball if you want. We've got soccer fields. We have golf courses. We have all of this stuff at their facility. And what, not necessarily the founder anymore, but their CEOs and their team say, okay, here's the energy we want to continue to push. And then that creates that energy, I think, inside of Nike itself.
In the very beginning. I mean, I don't know if you've ever actually familiar with how Nike started, but the guy that started Nike was building track shoes. And there was an Olympic runner by the name of Steve Fontaine that was running in. And his track shoes kept coming apart. And the guy that founded Nike then started working on different things he could do, and ended up taking a waffle iron and making and then the shoes were really light and really worked. And I mean, but that was kind of who he was. He was really kind of a cutting edge innovative guy, but he's always in the sports side of things. And Steve Fontaine was a phenomenal runner and won records and again, but it's kind of like that. He that's how he did it, and he continued to innovate, and do those things. But again, that was kind of his. They really haven't strayed too far from how his origins, which was working with professional athletes to develop the absolute best footwear out there.
Absolutely.
And that's what he did. And, like Michael Jordan, I mean, Michael probably could have done fine in basketball without Nike shoes, I guess.
Yes.
But they just understood how to really harness that, that brand. And, and I think that's the thing. I mean, he was true to himself and what he was doing and things like that. And I think as an entrepreneur, and you think about, the founders and the energy, I think, one of the things, which is why I'm a fan of founders doing their own merch, ads and their own stuff like this, because they're already full of energy. Yeah. It's nobody listening to this podcast that is a entrepreneur that doesn't have an energy that most other people don't have. Yeah. And so you've got to bring that into that, kind of brand. It's like, when I talk to people about my company, I take most of the sales calls still today, because number one, I love talking to people about what we do. Yeah. But there's nobody going to be on a phone call selling you more excited about selling you than me, because I'm just passionate about, what we do and the impact we have. And I think that's the piece you got to have there. So if you're a founder, you need to be the front person for your own, for your own stuff, and just have that passion and that energy there to do it with. Yeah. Well, and I'm feeling that 100% right now, right? Just because with Triton, the big thing is not saying that I don't have anybody who can do great demos. It's just, this is my baby, and people want to hear it from me, which is why if you are a dealership and watching this, and want to see a live showcase of Triton. Shameless promotion. 100%. Yeah. But you know what? It's our podcast. I can shamelessly promote.
But if you want to see it, shoot us a comment. I will send you a link for the live showcase. It's going to be a blast. We've got, there's been like 300 invites sent out for it. It's going to be such a good time. Zero pressure. But I'm just excited. It was just like when we were in Louisville.
Right.
Like I was just so excited to actually be able to say, hey, this is my baby. and it is here.
And she is pretty.
It is. And so, it's fun. And again, you're taking that energy. I'm able to take that energy and I can push that energy in a different way than anyone else could possibly.
You can, and it's like you. I mean, I've been on demos with you before, and I feel pretty confident I could do a pretty good demo, but I can't do it the way you do it.
Yeah.
It'd be like you speaking the way I speak. It's just different, and even though you know what I talk about and I know what you talk about, it's different coming out of your mouth with your product, and it's different coming out of my mouth with my product. And I think, again, it's that energy that you bring, and also, a little bit of the quirkiness. I mean, say, I'm a little bit more sarcastic than you.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's that little quirkiness that I bring into.
Yeah.
And again, and then, I have a story to tell, because people always say, well, how did you start doing this? I mean, how did you get into doing this? And I said, well, I could go to the circus when I was 18. Right. And the Vietnam War was just over when I was getting out of high school. So that wasn't an option, which I wouldn't have wanted to go into anyway, but my brother did.
Yeah.
My family were all in the military. It just didn't, everything ended up there. So in that, or go to college. These are my options.
Mm-hmm.
So people ask, well, how'd you do this? Or how'd you get started with this?
Yeah.
Or whatever like this. And it's kind of fun to tell the story.
Yeah.
From that standpoint. So, and then I think, again, I think that's a big part of, we talked about honey.
Yeah.
Last week to death. But
yes,
hopefully if anybody here sells honey, you've got some great ideas.
Absolutely.
From it. But again, it's the story, that I think you talked about last week. It's, so how do you collect it? And what's the different kinds and the different samplings and stuff like this? And other people can go out in front of the honey booth that they sell honey, but the people that are owning it are going to tell the story better than anybody else.
Absolutely.
Right. And they're going to have excitement. They're going to have passion about it. And you go like, how can you get excited about honey? If it's your business and it's your passion, you'll be excited about it.
Well, I'm really hoping that this next year at the Liberty Farmers Market, we see the beekeepers where we can get Jason Statham.
That'd be great. That'd be great.
Let's try that honey.
Yeah. Well, it would be good honey. You just don't screw with the hops.
You just don't screw with the hops.
If you've ever watched The Beekeeper.
I just watched it the other day.
I've watched that a couple of times. Well, this is a great one.
But I think one of the things, especially like, for your company, and when you do the speaking, because the speaking, you do the speaking not just because you love standing up and talking for 8 hours in a day, right? That's where you get a lot of leads from, right? People hear you speak. And so what people pick up on is first off, your confidence, right? Is you're very confident in what you're talking about. You don't have a lot of the pauses. No. Because when you hear that, people go, okay, this person is not confident in what they're doing,
right,
which comes along with a professional speaker. I think, if you went to a concert and you had someone who was, the lead singer of a band.
Taylor Swift doesn't do ooms.
But you have that confidence, and then you bring the humor into it, right? You get everybody laughing right off the first, and then you create a purpose behind what you're talking about, right? You're telling that story. And then there's an overall kind of a feeling or a vibe that comes along with people go, okay, I'm excited. I'm ready to go back and tackle a task in my dealership. I'm ready to go attack this in my business. And then that turns into leads for you.
Yeah,
right?
But don't you think that's about marketing too? I mean, I would go back again. I think, marketing, you obviously want to tell a story.
Yeah.
Okay. But you want to have people have fun,
mm-hmm.
And again, so it can't be, dry and scripted. And this is what we do. Yeah. And we sell honey, and our honey's the best honey.
Yeah.
It's like, so let me tell you how many times last week I got stunned getting what I'm about ready to serve you.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what I mean? But it's having some fun and entertainment. We talked about that with speaking. I mean, I think that's the big mistake a lot of speakers make, is you think that what you have to say is important.
Yeah.
People are there to be entertained.
Yes.
So my first rule of thumb is how can I entertain this group of people for an hour or 3 hours or 6 hours?
Yeah.
You can't keep them entertained all 6 hours. That's why I use cocaine, methamphetamines in the coffee. That seems to help. But again, my goal always again is I do kind of things in 45-minute blocks, and so I do a block and do this, but then we come back and we do another block. Then I start back with the entertainment again. We have fun and we do jokes and do that. And again, my goal again is to have, in a 6-hour day, I might have 5 or 6 points.
Yeah.
In that whole day that are really key points that are broken down. But I think that's the same thing with marketing. When you look at your marketing, you have to say, what can I do? And how can I do it in a way that is fun and entertaining foremost?
Yes.
What is fun and entertaining foremost about what you do? I don't care if it's nuclear reactors.
Yeah, it could be very
well.
Entertaining.
But they go back again. I mean, they're selling, right? You got all these massive data centers that are ultimately going to be powered. A lot of them are going to be powered by somebody's going to sell nuclear energy. I own stock in nuclear energy today because it's going to be a huge thing in the future. Yeah. But if you're going to do it, you got to say, hey, you know what? We all know about Chernobyl.
Yeah.
Bad nuclear plant. We've modeled ours not off of that plant, right?
Yeah.
So as you're thinking about nuclear energy, think about Chernobyl. That's not us.
That's not,
right? And so that, so if I was talking to a group of engineers, even they would probably go, yeah, that's kind of funny.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, absolutely. Well, and again, it's building that humor, that story, that something absolutely. That makes you different. So one of the things that I was thinking about this when I was kind of going over some of our talking points is, so I'm going to ask you 100%. You have no idea what I'm getting ready to ask you, but I'm getting ready to ask you. So if you were a real estate agent, right, and you wanted to create brand energy, what would be 2 things that you would do as a real estate agent that you say, I'm starting as a real estate agent, I'm an entrepreneur on my own, what would you do? What would be 2 things as a real estate agent that you would do?
Well, the first thing I would do is I would pick out a neighborhood that I'm going to make a decision to own.
Yeah.
So I'm not going from hell to high water all over a city like real estate agents do.
Yeah.
I'm going to say, okay, this is, we used to live in a place called Carriage Hills.
Yeah.
Or Carriage Hills Estate. So I would say that's going to be mine. And there's probably 400 homes in Carriage Hills and all that. I'm going to own that. Okay. Now what I'm going to do. So the first thing you're going to do is say, okay, who am I going to own?
Yeah.
Like, who's going to be my daddy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is pick out who am I going to own if I were a real estate agent. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do all kinds of events, little events and stuff like that in that. And people are going to start to know me from those things, like let's say on Halloween, I might, let's say there's 400 homes there. Then I'm going to go to a pumpkin farm.
Yeah. I'm
going to get a truckload of 400 pumpkins.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go and I'm going to put one on each doorstep and say, hey, it's getting close to Halloween. I've got pumpkins here. Would you mind if I drop one off for you here? I'm not going to leave my card with it. I'm not going to leave anything with it. Because again, the key is it's a gift.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, who are you? Oh, I do real estate in the area. If you ever have any needs here, but I'm not doing this to get real estate sales.
Yeah.
I just want to do this. This is an area I do a lot of homes in. I just want to leave this to you as a gift.
Yeah.
Because the thing when you give a gift that is unexpected, people feel guilty. Okay. And guilt is a very powerful thing.
Yes.
Okay. Because when people feel guilty, their number one thing is, oh my God, how do I get this monkey off my back? How do I do this?
Yeah.
Well, tell me who you are, or if I ever need my house sold, if I ever do this. And that would be what I would do. I would do something that has nothing to do with me, but that is something that I can do. If it's like say Halloween, or if it's, I don't know, let's say it's Easter, I would go out and get 400 live bunny rabbits. And I would not do that. Would be, kids would love it. Parents would never let you sell their home again. But I mean, I think that's it. I mean, you just have to sit there and think. I think that the challenge a lot of people have with marketing is they think, okay, I've got to market my product. You got to market you.
Yeah.
Your product comes with you. And so that's what I would do. I mean, if I were a real estate agent, I think I'd be a kick-ass real estate agent because, everybody's going all over the city. I'd go, okay, there's 400 homes here. Yeah. Right. Every 5 years, everybody moves in their home. Right. So I've got all the business I could ever want here. Yeah. In this area. I'm going to be the person here, and I'm going to do, we'll do trunk or treat. I'll have it there. So do things for the kids, do the stuff like that. If they have a pool in the neighborhood, which they did there, I'd probably, once a month on a Saturday, I would be out there with free hot dogs and buns and stuff like this.
Yeah.
So I spend a couple $100 on hot dogs at the pool.
Yeah.
For the kids that are there, the people that are there, and just give them away. That's what I would do. And I would own that neighborhood in about, I don't care who else is in it. I would own that neighborhood in about 6 months.
Yeah.
I
Absolutely.
would be the one. That's what I would do.
Yeah. Well, and it's you're creating that.
Thanks, by the way, for asking me that question.
You're welcome.
Not giving me anything.
Yeah.
I kind of probably come up with a better response.
No, I mean, but that's the thing is as entrepreneurs, you have to think. Yeah, honestly, part of that is you have to think on your feet, right? You have to say, okay, what I'm doing is maybe not working, right? I'm not hitting the right area. I'm not hitting the right metrics. Another thing that you have to do is, as you're building yourself as a brand, you have to monitor your brand. You have to look at your numbers.
Absolutely.
But that was one of the reasons why I wanted to just throw something at you and just say,
see if I had dementia.
Yeah, exactly.
Is this my Alzheimer's?
Yes, that was. You passed.
That's great.
You passed.
That's great.
But it's even like last week, when we were talking about the honey stand, and I threw some things into Chat GPT really quick, and it's just like there's so many.
I would have done this just off the top of my head.
You would have.
You had to use Chat.
I did. I'm building an AI product. I have to support AI. I got to make sure it's my friend. But with that, again, is there's so many ways to build the brand, and maybe you're, if you're a real estate agent and you're doing more on the, rural farm side, then take what Bob just said or what you just said and say, how do I make that match my personality? Because maybe you as a real estate agent are a horse person. You love horses, right? Okay, well, how do you bring that all around? And so, but you create that community, and that community then comes and supports you. And again, you have to understand that you are that brand. It doesn't matter if you're yourself or Remax or
it doesn't matter.
Whatever.
I mean, Remax is not the brand. You're the brand.
Yeah.
It's like Triton. You're the brand.
Yeah.
Okay. When people talk about Triton, it's really, they're talking about Brian Clements.
Yeah.
Triton is the logo that you fly under, but investors have invested in your company, not because of Triton, because there was really nothing in the beginning.
Yeah.
Right. They just knew you, they trusted you, they knew you knew the industry, and that's how you got investors in. So they were investing in you. Yeah. Because you have a history with them and things like that. And I think it's the same thing. You've got to think outside of the box a little bit, but I don't think there's any, and I don't mean to sound arrogant, but I don't think there's any product out there that is sold that I couldn't, if you said, okay, now you're going to sell this product. Yeah. Even if it was honey sticks, I think I could come up at this crazy farmer's market to do a better job selling honey sticks than anybody else out there. I mean, I really could. And it's not because of ego or arrogance. Mm-hmm. I just think, okay, this is what they're doing. I can find a better, more creative way to do this or to do that. And again, the other thing is that, don't be afraid to spend a little bit of money. People probably go like, oh my God, what would 400 pumpkins cost? And I go, I don't know. I could probably go to a pumpkin patch and say, I want to buy 400 pumpkins for you today. Mm-hmm. Okay. Can you cut me a deal? And they go, back your truck up, back your trailer up. Tell me when to stop. Give me $2,000. And we're good. Yeah, absolutely. And I said, you pick the pumpkins. If you don't give me your best ones, because you can sell those to somebody else, I'm going to give them away. Somebody's just going to be happy to have something for the kid to carve. Yeah. Right. And so they go, here, give me $2,000. You can have 400 pumpkins and we're rocking and rolling. Absolutely. And again, so you can't be afraid to spend a little bit of money to do it, but it's like the honey thing. I mean, I would give away lots of samples and lots of stuff like this. I'd probably have once an hour, I'd have a jar giveaway, come in, register for a jar of honey, put your name in here, scan the QR code, get on our mailing list, get on our email list, and then I'll keep you updated as if we have, new types of honey coming out. I'll email you on those, because people that are buying honey like honey. Yeah, right? Absolutely. So those, to me, I just go back again. I think you just got to think outside of the box a little bit, Well, but that goes to show, and like you say, you could sell anything, right? Yes, because you as a brand are a salesperson. You love sales. I love sales. You love sales, and so that's the brand that I love manipulating people. Yes, just so everybody's aware of that. Bully people into doing something subconsciously. They go like, "Why did I do that?" I go, "I have no idea."
no idea, but I'm so glad that you did.
So glad you did.
Aren't you glad?
And you're gonna feel good about it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, but that's again
That's for my friends at Gravity that I taught how to get people to take candy.
100%. But that's again is you as your brand, right? Are a master of sales, right? You have a passion for sales. You have a passion for that. And again, no matter what industry you're in, as an entrepreneur, when you find that passion, that thing that really drives you, is you have to build off that. And then you have to make it match. So what you say, what you show, and what you do always has to match that passion, that energy. Now, there's going to be times that you have to do shit that you just go like, oh my God, this is not me. But as you build your business, the things that are not you, that are not your passion, the things that you are not good at,
I give to Jeff and Sarah.
That's you build.
I hand them off. Like, you guys are going to love this. Yeah, exactly. Let me know if you have any questions.
But you then build your team around that, right? To fill in those spaces. So,
well, and it kind of goes back. As you were talking about this, we do a lot of work with Bryan Equipment. They're the largest steel distributor, I think, in the world.
Yeah.
They're in the Ohio Valley. Wonderful people. Rick Bryan, I've known their family for years. I do a lot of stuff with them. And, Ken there, and you're very familiar with them. They know you really well. But there was a young guy, and he's still there. He just continues to move up in the organization. His name is Josh Kelly. And I met Josh. There's a gentleman there that is retired now. His name was Tim Campbell. And Tim Campbell was probably one of the most creative, out of the box thinkers. If you've ever been in a dealership that has steel equipment, and you look and you have this wall of steel equipment, this huge display, Tim came up with that idea 15 to 20 years ago. And not steel, but Tim did. And so that's what he was, such a creative thinker. And Josh, we were doing some training, some road training. So I'd never met Josh before. This is, I don't know, maybe 10, 12 years ago. Steel had just introduced this new battery little hedge clipper thing. Yeah. Not a hedge trimmer, but a little pruner. And Josh was out to talk to steel dealers about, hey, this is something you should take on and you should do this. So Josh did his thing before me, and then I did mine, and he came back and did another one. And Josh was so passionate about this $99, and I got the dealers excited about it. And I laughed when we were done, and Josh and I are great friends now. But I said, damn, Josh, I says, I don't need one, but I want to buy one of these. And he was like, well, I'll just give you one. I said, no, don't give me one. Yeah. I just want to buy one from you. And because what he did was, it was a battery powered little, they do a lot of big battery powered stuff now, but at that time it's kind of thing. But what he did, he was so passionate, he was so excited, and he got the dealers so excited. And I'm sitting back there going, well, I shouldn't be excited about this because they don't really need it, but it's only $99, right? Damn, I want one of those too. Yeah. I'm not going to tell Sandy about it, but I want one. But it kind of goes back again, well, Josh is not the stakeholder. Yeah. He's not the founder, but he's an employee. But Josh's power is he is so freaking excited about Bryan Equipment and steel products that if you just talk to him, you just want to do business with him. Absolutely. I mean, he's just that kind of guy, and I think that's a piece of it. With that excitement and because you don't have to necessarily maybe be the founder, but you gotta find somebody that's got the passion. Yeah. And if you go like, well, I don't, that's not me, Bob, then find somebody and you got to bring them on your team. To your point, you got to bring those people there. Well,
and that's, Rick, Bryan, and Bryan Equipment is an incredible example. Pace, another one, right? Is you have to build a brand that no one can copy, and then you constantly have to build that brand with employees. And I think one of the things when you look at Bryan Equipment or you look at Pace, what I'm trying to build in Triton is empowering our people to pursue their passion, right? Because if you do that, no one can ever copy what you're doing, right? Because unless they start cloning people, which I've seen Ricky Bobby, and it's pretty incredible with what they're doing with my high level of income, and I don't know what to do with my hands. But with all of that, it's people can't clone your people, and so no one will ever build a brand as long as you let your people pursue their passions inside of your company. No one can copy what you're doing.
And I think that's the big piece, and that's really the key piece is if you build your brand around you, not around your product.
Yeah.
Because there's not a product out there that I can't duplicate
Absolutely.
today easily, relatively quickly.
Yeah.
So a product today, it's hard to make a product today unique. And I even think about NVIDIA with the chips and stuff like this, so they had a little bit of a lead, but that's kind of evaporated now. It's not, it's not evaporated, but there's competitors now that's got, these quantum chips like they do, but it's the passion. I think that's when you think about Apple.
Yeah.
Okay. And you think about Steve Jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Steve Jobs probably couldn't write a line of code if his life depended upon it. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, his partner, Steve Wozniak, was the guy. I doubt if Steve Jobs could solder a joint together on a computer, but he was passionate.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he was a creative innovator thing. And so, and to this day, you have lots of people that have cloned Windows.
Yes.
The Microsoft, Dell, and all of these other ones out there. Ain't nobody that's cloned an Apple.
Yeah.
Right. Because they just don't want to.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I just say again, it's just kind of this, it's the same thing, but again, you're not going to clone a Steve Jobs. You're not going to clone whether you like Elon Musk or not. I think he's a genius.
Yeah.
But nobody's going to clone an Elon Musk.
Yeah.
So that's a piece of it. And then they are kind of the brand.
When it's interesting because, when you talk about the brand and Elon Musk, perfect example, and you're talking about Apple, you look at all of the phones. I feel like all phones have become very static.
Yeah.
There's nothing really exciting. They'll add another camera. The screen gets a little bit bigger. Now they're all getting a little bit smaller again because everyone's tired of the big screen.
The big screen is what we call a tablet.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's interesting because, and I see it with what we're doing with Triton, and Elon Musk is doing it, but they're releasing their Tesla phone.
Yes.
I don't know if you've seen much on their Tesla phone,
haven't.
but it's basically not a phone. It's a AI agent.
Oh, yeah.
That's you just talk to it and it just responds. But he is taking something that is his passion, because if Steve Jobs was still alive, right?
iPhone would not be an iPhone 87.
Yeah. No,
he would shoot himself.
The innovation would be constantly progressing. Yeah. That's what Elon Musk is doing, right? It's like, okay, I'm tired of seeing the same thing happen over and over. Let's innovate. Let's make something new. And that's his passion, right? I could I would say with the majority of my certainty in it is Elon Musk doesn't really care about the business of what he does. He cares about innovating, creating something that no one's ever done. If he could do that and there wasn't a dollar, even if he wasn't making a lot of money, but he could constantly innovate, he would still be just as happy as he is today.
Yeah. It's who he is.
He's built that brand around him.
He has, and to kind of back to the point, and the people that he hires are people that think like him.
Yeah.
I was listening to an interview that he had. I think it was on Joe Rogan. If you like Joe Rogan, he's got, I don't know, like 20 followers on his podcast or something.
Yeah. Hopefully he'll catch up to us.
Yeah, I'm sure he may have already passed us. But he had Elon Musk on here, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago, and I was listening to the podcast, and Joe Rogan was saying, well, people out there are going like, yeah, this guy can't even make a rocket. They just take off and they explode. And Elon Musk started laughing. He goes, well, he says, here's why that happens.
Yeah.
Says what we have to do is take our rockets and try to make them explode in the beginning.
Yeah.
So we take shit off of them that protects them. And what we want to do is see how much shit can we keep taking off before they actually blow up.
Yeah.
Because people then want to ride on them. Okay. And he started laughing. He goes like, okay, you're an idiot. The person that asked the question, because we plan on them. We just keep taking protective things off of them. We try to continue to make things fail to see at what point was that the last straw, and then we say, okay, then we're safe.
Yeah.
All the way up to here.
Yeah.
Doing it, and like you said, that's just a part of it. As he goes through it, but that's his genius is like, you build them and then you break them.
Yeah.
Then what the tolerances are. and then that's what you do. But that's just his innovation. That's his mindset.
Yeah.
He doesn't see a rocket blowing up as a failure. He
Yeah.
goes, well, damn, we can't take that off anymore.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not gonna work. But that's okay. Now we know that, and so we have to. Maybe it's a double redundancy thing we have to do there. But anyway,
Yeah.
So he's just brilliant.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and back to, and as we kind of wrap up, building a brand that feels like you. I mean, we've gotten off on probably 17, 10.
That's why we call it unfiltered and
unplugged and unfiltered, because you know what, we get to talk about whatever we really want to talk about. But to kind of wrap this up, I mean, the biggest takeaway I want people to understand, whether you're in, again, real estate, whether you're in software development, whether you're in public speaking, whether it doesn't matter what you do, is you have to create a magnetic presence, right? And you want to attract people that are attracted to your brand, which is you again. And so be authentic with what you're doing. Because if you're not authentic, you're going to get burnt out. You can only keep up the act for so long. It's I can sit here and tell you that I am super excited to do all of my follow-up paperwork, which would be a lie.
Would be a lie.
Because that is not something I
don't really
truly
want to do that.
Now I do it, and I do it very happily right now, because that's what I have to do to feed what my true passion is.
Right.
But
you got a baby that wants to eat.
But I also am But I also am finding people who share the passion that I have for building Triton out, and they have that passion for doing the documentation and the paperwork and the flows and things that I'm like, oh my God, I would never in my life ever be excited about doing that. But I'm finding the right people that fill in those gaps for me, who share the same passion, and then they take on that department as their own brand, right? I have people, whether it's Allison from kind of the administrative side, right? The administrative side of our company is Allison. That's what it is. From the overall just operations, like you look at our operations, our day-to-day kind of schedules, you look at it and you go, well, that's Michael, right? And then, you look at our marketing and you go, okay, well, that's Bella. Like every part of our company is driven by the person who is in charge of that. It's their passion. It's their baby. That's their brand. And I am more than okay to let them have their brand inside of my innovative brand.
Well, and again, so you look at your team right now, and again, you got a small team, which is good because your company's just starting off and you're, trying to build it. But again, every one of the people, like Allison is great with people and great with hiring and great with all those things. That's something that she likes, she enjoys, she's great at it, and it doesn't burn her out. You think of Bella. Bella loves marketing. She's creative, she's innovative, stuff like this. It fires her soul. What's going to kill her soul is you also got her doing some accounting. So that's going to destroy her soul, because there's nothing that's, as a matter of fact, if you're creative in accounting, you're probably in prison at this point. You're going to be like the movie Accountant.
The Accountant.
So you're saying that you work out of your home? How well, just on our kitchen table. Well, how big would you say your kitchen would be?
Yes, keep giving me information.
And how do you come and get your materials? Well, we just take the truck. Oh, you have a vehicle.
A work vehicle.
So I love Ben Affleck.
Oh, that's an incredible movie.
So instead of now we owe $10,000, actually the government's going to give you $7,000.
Yes.
So we don't want Bella's soul to die doing accounting. But her dad is an accountant, military. He's all about standard. When it comes to operations, you could have nobody who is more passionate about making things flow and go like this than Michael. That's his, and that would kill your soul.
Absolutely.
And I think that's the big piece again is you're a small organization. You've got your whole development team. So I can't say you got a small team. Because you got Robert. I mean, you got a massive team over there that's a separate company that is helping you develop all this stuff. So they've got all these people. But even on their team, I mean, you got Dave, you got Joe, you got some people out there that are very skilled and very gifted in certain things.
Absolutely.
And I think that's a piece of it, making sure that you got the right people in place to do what you're passionate about. And then as you grow and you can, then you got to find other people that fit in those other spots as you go through and do it.
Absolutely. So anyways, with that, just remember, you have to build a brand that feels like you, create something that's magnetic, and then build something that you're passionate about. Because if you're not building something you're passionate about, then you're never going to truly succeed. I mean, anybody can make money at anything, but when you truly put passion behind it, right? That's what drives you every single day to keep going, to not give up, to never quit. And whether you're a real estate agent, whether you sell honey, giving pumpkins away, whether you're you sell honey, whether you're building software, you're a public speaker. The thing about it is what makes you different, what makes it so no one can copy what you do, what makes you memorable, create that purpose, create confidence, create the humor, and then create an overall just fun vibe around what you do. If you do those things, when people think of, I need a speaker, right? They go, what? Shit, I heard Bob speak one time and it was so funny and he was so engaging, right?
He was one of the most mediocre speakers.
Mediocre speakers. But I told him that, and so he gave me my money back. So.
Exactly. And he gave me all my money.
And he gave me all my money back. But with that,
I'm hoping Pace and Brian Equipment's not listening.
Yeah, if you guys,
that doesn't count for Pace or Brian.
Yeah, you guys have a non-refundable deposit, unfortunately. Paid in full.
Paid in full.
Anyways, with that, I just want to encourage everyone just to keep on grinding at it. If you're struggling, if you run into an issue as an entrepreneur, reach out to us. We'll make something up that'll sound really good, and we'll tell you that
we will tell you the truth.
We will. We will tell you. But with that, I do appreciate everybody who's on here, who watches this every single week. I still don't know why you do, but we appreciate it. We have so much fun with this. But until next time, we are going to unplug, create a brand that feels like you. It's what we've done here with Unplugged Unfiltered. This is us.
It is.
Us hanging out, sitting, drinking a glass of tequila on a Wednesday night, because who doesn't drink a glass of tequila on a Wednesday night? We do every week because of Unplugged Unfiltered. And that's why we built this, right? It's a brand. It feels like us. It is our passion. It's something we enjoy doing. But with that, we're going to unplug for the night. Thank you guys so much. If you have any questions, concerns, dirty jokes, go ahead and drop those in our comment section in our website. We would definitely take a look at those.
We will not read them on the air.
We could.
We will not read them on the air.
No, we won't. So no, but with that, if you guys have any comments, if you want us to talk about anything, if you have any questions, again, www.unpluggedunfiltered.com. We have an awesome contact us section where you can put in show request, you can put in topic request, you can ask us additional questions on any of our episodes that we've ever done, or if you're an entrepreneur and you want to be on our podcast, there is a section on there where you get to fill that out, put in a guest request form, and then we'll look at it and we go, yeah, we don't really like this person, so no.
But if you got a product you want to promote,
we would love to have you on.
We'd love to find out what you're doing, how you're doing, and things like that.
Yeah.
That's really what this is all about. So if there's anything out there that you've got, let's say you sell honey. I don't care.
If you sell honey, please
that
let
would be
us
kind
know,
of fun.
because we would love to have some honey sticks on.
Well, but again, just it gives Brian and I a chance to say, okay, how'd you do it? Why'd you start it? And things like this. I think that's the big thing. So other young entrepreneurs, and I say young, not in age, but I'm a new business owner, can learn from it. That's what this is all about. Yeah,
and that's what this whole thing's about. So if you're interested, definitely reach out to us, connect with us. We'd love to have you on. And it doesn't matter what you do. We really don't care. If you're doing something, you're building the business, and you're passionate about it, we'd love to have you on and talk with you. So,
and if you're selling nuclear power plants, let me hear the funny way you.
Exactly. So with that, we are going to wish you all a farewell, and we will catch you guys next week live right here on Unplugged Unfiltered. And we thank you guys all so much for your support. Make sure you like, subscribe, and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitch. I think that's pretty much all of them.
Yeah.
But TikTok, that's the last one that we can never actually get to work. But follow us on those. We thank you guys. We will catch you next week. Signing off. I'm Brian. This is Bob. We'll see you guys next week.
Never disappoint, so we have coincidentally stumbled on a legendary. Wait until they see us now, waiting for the opportune time to to showing this new power of mine. When words is where we landed, we're 2 rows and next to be commended. We're taking down all the